Hello and welcome to this severe, self-indulgent and personal analysis of Xdinary Heroes' musical development since their debut. As a JYP Entertainment fan, simp, I've been following their progression as a band since the very beginning. They also happen to be the first band that I've followed since debut, so that also holds a special place in my heart. Anyways, here's some quick context that I feel is necessary. I first fell into the world of international music in 2021 through a friend, and I had heard music before, but I first listened to JYP Entertainment bands Day 6 and subsequently Stray Kids, where those were the first groups that I followed from South Korea. Because of the type of music that I listened to, I became hyper-fixated on discovering all the possible bands within the South Korean music scene. So Q-bands like The Rose, One We, N-Flying, CNBLUE, Nerd Connected, Soul, Dassault, Rolling Corpse, Bandage, Dick Punks. There's literally, the list goes on. I legit have a list of like 50, possibly even over 100 bands that, I found and have yet to discover and actually listen to, but I have the list nonetheless. Anyway, so when JYP Entertainment teased a new band coming in 2022, you know I was excited. Let's dive into the analysis. Xdinary Heroes debuted on the 6th of December 2021 with the single Happy Death Day, and this is certainly a unique and bold concept from day one. They made it acutely aware that they wanted to stand out and get people's attention, and they definitely achieved this with the song and the concept look as well. Obviously, the hot conversation and thought on everyone's mind with this debut was, what are they going to sound like and how are they going to be different from the already established bands that were there before them? In my opinion, I really wanted them to get into the pop rock kind of metal direction, and spoiler alert, I was right. On the 20th of July 2022, their first EP mini album came out, Hello World. It's a very playful, electric and bold beginning to their journey as a band, and definitely shows a good potential. The album is a little chaotic as they were experimenting with these wacky sounds, but I don't really mind. For example, the electronic game sound effects in Test Me, the psychedelic synth in Strawberry Cake, and the funny womp in Pirates. Hearing these different sounds got me excited to follow their musical journey, and I feel like it's rare that a group would experiment this much in their first EP, since they're typically Korean concepts are more concept driven. This one had a concept, but I feel like sonically they were experimenting a lot more than other bands would. Next up is Overload. Honestly, looking back at the album, it's an album for its time for me. It's a solid album and those experimentations keep coming. It's just a little bit more concept specific, and sonically that's reflected. I just tend to not go back to too many of the songs from that album, but they are really, really good, and I loved it at the time. This album was notably when they went back to that darker, grittier sound, which is important to mention in terms of their evolution as a band. Next up is the album twins Deadlock and Livelock. For Deadlock, oh boy, here's where things start to ramp up. I have to admit, when the album came out for the first time, I was heavily distracted by the two power ballads, Dear H and Good Enough. I am such a sucker for a power ballad. Good Enough for me at the time hit home in a way which was both healing and also woeful. Safe to say, I wish Ganil knew how important that song was for me, and still is to this day. Anyways, after coming back to the album, I started obsessing with other songs, such as Come Into My Head. That one particularly hit the alt-rock itch that I didn't know I needed, and has such a powerful start and such beautiful dynamics and musical texture throughout. It's just such a fun, energetic, standalone song. Unfortunately, my only criticism on the album is that these songs do work better individually than as an album collective, in my opinion, but doesn't mean I don't love the album any less the same as the others. In my opinion, Deadlock was the root beginnings of the band testing that heavier kind of sound with songs like Come Into My Head, Freakin' Bad and Bicycle, but now with Livelock, this is where things start to bloom. I present the song Freddy. Continuing the trend of banging ass, badass album introductions, I loved this track, especially since the start reminded me of Panic at the Disco's Roaring Twenties. See the resemblance? And then we get the amazing guitar solo through Break to Break, and subsequently my personal favourite song on the album, Pluto. Pluto is another song that really hit that alt-rock itch for me, and sprinkling of metal undertones, I would say. Also, for the record, Pluto's live version clip, absolute god tier. Troubleshooting. Oh my god. My reaction to this album? It's all I've ever wanted from this band that has finally come together, not only as an album, but in the first freaking song. Finally, the shift into the harder, metal, grittier sounds that I so desperately wanted from them from the start. No Matter is hands down the best introduction song for an album that I've ever heard. It perfectly completes the trifecta of album introduction songs, sets the mood and tone for the rest of the album, as well as the flawless representation of how far their sound has developed, especially since Livelock. The sound, the texture, and the dynamics, all coming from Pluto, were developed and elevated in No Matter, and I wanted nothing less. While this full-length album also features a variety of sounds, it just seems to work together so well. The pacing and the placement of all the different songs feeds well into each other and just kind of takes you on this musical journey. Can you tell which one is my favourite album yet? So to keep this high going, I wanted to talk about their collab with YB Yoondonhyun, the songs Instead and Rebellion. This is hands down the best collab that could have happened in the universe. This is exactly the sound that I wanted to hear from Xdinary Heroes. That gritty, metal, ear-bleeding screamo sound that I wanted from the start, and that saw kind of their musical journey progressing into since, especially off of Troubleshooting. Like, come on. Yeah, these collabs I will never shut up about. I mean, the whole point of why I'm making this video is this is the sound, again, that I wanted them to get to. I wanted them to lean into this sound. From my personal listening experience and knowledge so far, there aren't many successful mainstream Korean metal bands. Not like the groups, and especially none under the big three entertainment companies in Korea. I saw this band, Xdinary Heroes, as a huge opportunity for JYP Entertainment to take and expose metal and rock music to a wider audience. Given that they already had Day 6, which was the more softer, rock, pop, safer kind of ballad sound, so I really wanted JYP Entertainment to create something special with Xdinary Heroes. And they did. They went in the direction that I so desperately wanted them to go in, to be different and stand out, which was all kind of their promotion and concept from the start. I must admit, I did a quick Google search last night before filming this video and into metal bands, and there were actually a few metal bands from the 90s and early 2000s that I didn't know about. So I got some homework and some more listening to do. The next album, Live and Fall, will be quick and easy because as an album I don't come back to it very often, and I feel as though the songs are better individually than as a collective. But again, it definitely has some underrated songs on there that keep that metal sound alive, like Feeling Nice and Symphony, being my top 2 favourites from that album. Beautiful Mind, Emo's Rise. Xdinary Heroes have gone emo. My first reaction to Beautiful Life was that it was Xdinary Heroes' kind of song like Bohemian Rhapsody. Others were also saying that it was kind of a parallel to My Chemical Romance's Welcome to the Black Parade. I thought Beautiful Life was such a lovely yet tragic song when, especially for the time that it came out, which was a very bold decision, especially in the music video. Otherwise, another fan and personal favourite was the much anticipated George the Lobster. Like, who doesn't want to listen to a metal song about a 100-year-old lobster? Such an iconically funny song, and again, staying true to that metal rock sound. Notable mentions include Diamond and More Than I Like. I liked those 2 songs a little bit too much. Plus, second English track of the discography. First one being Good Enough, second one being Diamond, and soon to have a third as well coming up. Overall, a very great and cohesive album. Last but not least is the most recent album, Love to Death. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my hands on the album just yet. It's literally in stores at my shop that I go to today as I'm filming this video. So, oh well, but I will definitely make sure to grab it. Okay, we have a lot to talk about for this one. This is now going to become an in-depth album analysis video. At the time of recording this, it's only been out for about 2 weeks. But if you asked me my thoughts on the album before last night, I would have given you a completely different answer. So this is your lesson to do your homework and make sure you understand the album before you talk about it. So just quickly, my first couple thoughts was that none of the songs really hit me or like jumped out at me. Fire, My Sweet Misery, their 3rd English song by the way, was the best and most standout for me, but we got that way before the album released and it's English, so I feel like I'm biased. Sonically is an amazing song though. Spoiler also caught my attention at first, but I didn't really connect to the other songs. After re-listening to it and watching the music videos for both of the main tracks, oh my god, my opinions drastically changed. I See You is definitely the hard-hitting sound, which I love so much. Plus, it's such a fun song and music video as well. Lost and Found absolutely emotionally destroyed me after reading the lyrics and watching that music video, which, by the way, I really liked the play that they did there. They kind of made it into like a music video, but also short film kind of vibes. I don't know, I liked what they did with, they started off with a story, then they kind of thought we were going into a music video, then they stopped it suddenly. That was really cool. Also, side note, Gaon and Ode have been kind of the highlight of this album, I've realized, but I love that they've done that. So yeah, I definitely think this album has won me over and it will definitely continue to grow on me. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for listening and letting me share my opinions on this band that I love so much. And I also thought I'd just take the opportunity to manifest an Australian tour for Xdinary Heroes. Please come to Australia. I genuinely think that if this is the way I'm reacting to their music digitally, then I will go insane once they finally come and I can hear it in a live environment.